I am in a brand new long trade on Bitcoin, and yes, I am looking for higher prices. In this technical analysis video, I want to really explain to you so you understand fully the reasons behind the long, where and why I'm looking for higher prices to next, how we can recognize weakness at higher resistance targets where we can look to take a short trade. So I mean it, this video is going to be packed with information, upcoming trades, and well, how to manage the existing trade if you are in the long. If not, you'll learn how I got into it. So there's a lot of value in this one. So yeah, without further said or do, right, let's jump over to what you're here for. That is the trades, that is the charts, and here we go with a wonderful chart to start off with today. I'm going to be picking up where I left off my last YouTube video, so I'm going to spend just 2 minutes analyzing the price action since that video, really just so we have a continuous story and, you know, of course, I can educate you with a lot of useful insights here of this price action. So jumping back a few days ago, I made this YouTube video. I was in a long trade. I had not hit any take profits. I was looking for higher. I had two levels that I was mentioning to you, $118,800, which for me was a key level. And then we had the value area high of the range. This is simply the value area high of the overall range that we're trading within. In the end, $118,000, $118,800, we went through like butter. There was no reaction. So of course, there was not a short trade to be had at $118,000. And as you're trading here, $119,000, it's as simple as this, right? My words would be no short trades here. Look for the next higher target. There's nothing to do but just sit back. Of course, lock in the take profit of the long, which I did do, by the way. So that's the take profit one hit on the long. We hit $118,000. Of course, we went straight through it, but I'm not going to get greedy and, you know, locked in my take profit. At that point, there's nothing to do but, you know, continue to remain patient for around $119,600, where we have the range value area high, which is, of course, our next level and our next potential short, depending on the reaction. In the end, as we come down, you can see we're continuing to trade through the middle of the range. Upcoming now is the value area high. I confirmed to my team I am now taking the short from the range value area high. Again, the reasons why is we come into the level, we start to get rejections at the level. For me, this is enough reasons to take a short trade. And I want to just go through this pretty quickly just to go through it, because we all know we did get our rejections from the value area high. We've made our way down to the value area low, just like, mamma mia, I love to see it. Very well respected, but just so you can understand and you can see transparently what I was posting in the group. So took the short from the range value area high. Again, nothing that wasn't explained in this YouTube video telling you around the range value area high is a level we'll look for that next short trade. Should we get through 118,800, we went straight through 118,800. There's no short trade to be had there. We got the rejection off the value area high. All right, you see the big difference here. I want to just say this last thing. You see the big difference here. There is no reaction at that daily naked point of control. Thus, there is no trade. You see the difference here? There is a wick. There is rejections off of the value area high, so there opens up the option for a short. And you know, I did personally take that short. And then we can see over the coming few hours, we of course had that CME gap. I hope you didn't forget about the CME gap. You know, continuation. I was telling my team I was targeting $117,300. I'm not taking any longs before that. I believed it will come down to that level. We then in the end lost from the value area high, lost the point of control. Just, you know, continuously looking for the drop to the value area low. There's nothing else to go off of here. Not taking any longs yet. Then I done a live stream where I was looking for Pepe. I was looking for a few different Ethereum longs, Bonk longs, new long trades. We come down and we start to get drops. So I said, I'm not going to long Pepe yet because I'm still looking for lower on Bitcoin to around that 117,000 zone. So there was nothing to do yet. And then around half an hour later, we finally hit the 117,000 level. I was waiting a few days for that. Since the short from the value area high, I was waiting patiently for this value area low zone, and we eventually got it. So there's no hindsight, there's no ifs, buts, maybe. No, I've taken the long trade here. I was waiting a little bit on Pepe to see the reclaim of the value area of the anchored VWAP that I was looking at, and you know, real simply, you know, this was the value area low. You can see here, $116,994. This is from my live trading stream that I done yesterday. I was explaining to the team, like, this is the zone we're waiting for, around $117,000. And here you can see how just the perfect reaction that you got off of that value area low, right? $116,994. Got that wick onto $116,994. And, you know, as I'd already confirmed to my team, I have longed this I've longed, also long Pepe, took my longs on Ethereum, took my longs on Bitcoin. We were even yesterday in that stream analyzing the drop on the ES. So all markets, altcoins, gold, stock market, Bitcoin, everything was covered and everything played out pretty nicely indeed. And yeah, we started to see those profits confirmed where my stop losses were. I mean, you can pause and read through all of this, but I'm just explaining to my team, I am going to remain in the long. There's no reason to close it. We have the invalidation. We have the stop loss. Let's just relax. And, that brings us up to where we are now. And, everything has, of course, progressed very nicely indeed. So I took this long across several different accounts. My longs on the altcoins, my longs on Bitcoin. This is an account that I'm happy to show on stream. Again, it's just a small trading account, but this is only what I'm comfortable showing on stream. So yeah, personally have the long, from pretty much a very good entry and, what's this, 12 hours later, $700 of profit. And it's the same on Ethereum, same on Bonk, and, same on Pepe. The longs I took yesterday are all in profits right now. So you can just see how the importance of having a trading plan and then trading the trading plan. That's where you can make some wonderful profits. So I hope that's done a nice explanation of what we were looking at last stream, how it played out, and where we are now. We really simply have gone from the value area high to the value area low. And pretty simple stuff, really. So now, that was a 5-minute explanation. I hope you learned something there. And what are we looking for next then? Well, you can see we're currently trying to trade above this point of control. I'm going to hide these range values a second. This is the long trade that I shared yesterday that, of course, I'm still in right now. And so where can we be looking for next? Well, let's zoom out a second. What we can do is an updated value area pull. So we can update the value areas now. You can see that this is still coming in around $119,400. So a nice level above us, $119,400. You can also see how this sits on a daily level. So that's where we have the value area high sat on the daily level. Just a nice level to be aware of. The bigger levels, let's say for me. Okay, yeah, yesterday, by the way, we also had that weekly 117,350. This is now tapped, so I will remove that. But so just so you can understand, the bigger levels for me still sit around this 120,500, but it's testing. It's taken a long time to come and try and get up to these levels. You can see where I have my alert set levels of interest for this short trade. But there is no guarantee that we're going to get up this high. You can see we have a really strong trendline resistance right now. Just look at this. Really, really, really strong trendline resistance from the origin to the second touch to the third touch. We need to see a breakout of this downtrend, right? We need to see the breakout of this downtrend. Otherwise, if we cannot break out of the downtrend, well, the downtrend can continue for lower prices. So for the sign of strength, what we would really like to see for this fourth touch of the level would be a move into this trend line and actually see it reclaim the level. Again, we could reject. And this is where, as I was saying in my last video, we could have rejected $118,000. There was no reaction, so there was no short trade to be had there. You look on for the next level. It's the same theory. We were already and waiting for around $119,000. If we get a rejection, we can take the short trade. If we do not, then we can look up towards $120,000 next, right? It's just a level-to-level environment. And I know for some people, or even if you're new here, even if you've been around a while, for some people, this style of trading is confusing. They see, oh yeah, you have 3 different options of a trade here. Which one should I take? Well, the answer is this, and this, I truly mean this in the most wanting to help you, truly professional outlook of the market. Please listen carefully. And I know I'm repeating myself because I've said it a lot. We as traders, professional traders, which this is our main income, this is what we do. We understand we do not know what's happening next. We can have probabilities, we can have likely outcomes, but there is no such thing as a 100% guarantee in trading. So what we do is we plan out several different scenarios where we can look for a short. We plan out several different scenarios where we can look for a long. Once we've done our technical analysis and plans, we remain patient for those levels to be hit, because at those levels we have interest. What I like to do when that level is hit, I like to pair it with a reaction visually on the chart and match it with order flow. That is where I will make my informed decisions. So I have, let's say, 3 different areas for a short trade, but I will only likely take one of those short trades. matching it much like I done on my last video. I had the interest in 118,800, but as you all know, there was no reaction at that level. There was no reaction at that level. So of course, why would I take a short trade there? I looked towards my next level, which was the value area high. And it was at the value area high where I took the short trade, right? So it's the same thing here. We wait for the alert to go off. Of course, we can look visually at the reaction. Is there a visual reaction, yes or no? And then what I would always do is back this up with the order flow. So what are we seeing? How many trades are we getting at that level? Is it a high amount of trades, which shows us a lot of retail trading? Is it a low amount of trades? How quickly is these candles being formed? This is a 10 million volume chart. So we like to see the duration of that candle, how long it took to form, the amount of trades at that candle. We then like to see the order flow in terms of the open interest. We like to see the delta of that candle. Okay, so we'll look at this template, the delta. You can see this, okay. I can even move myself here so you can see a little bit better. So we'll start to look at the order flow at that level. And this is where we then take it just to another increase of, again, a little bit more complex, I'm not going to deny, but it just gives you so much higher probabilities of taking a good trade. So we wait patiently of those levels mapped out. When the levels hit, we look at the reaction visually and we match it with the order flow. We make that informed decision. Do I take the short trade? Well, yes, if there is something bearish showing, or no, and then we look for the next level above us. That is always how I've traded, and it is truly the best way of trading. It is a little bit harder. It's a little bit more confusing. You need to put in the time to learn, which a little bit of a plug. If you want to learn, chartchampions.com, the best place that you can learn from the beginner to the expert. We got everything that you need to learn here, as well as live trading streams, so you can see it done live in the time. You can start to understand how you get the best trades. So you've got everything that you need to learn. But of course, my style of trading is something that you need to, put in the time to learn. It's not just going to be easy, but it will pay off in the end. And so, that's where I'm looking for the next big levels above us. Okay, now I will start to look and analyze for you where we could look for, new potential longs on drops. But I hope you understand the next big level of above us is, look at this trend line, very, very super well respected trend line. But the more times you test it, the weaker it gets. But I will remind you finally that we do have that value area high on the daily level, on the trend line zone. So it is a pretty big resistance here locally, but it is the fourth tap of the level. So again, informed decision. Let's see the volume, let's see the reaction if we hit that level. Of course, there's no guarantees. We could reject around this point of control still and make our way down. Okay, that's another possibility that you need to be aware of, right? It is possible. I have not shorted the point of control yet, by the way. So, just to put it out there transparently, I have not shorted this, but my next bigger level really would be a push higher. I'd prefer that. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. So if that doesn't happen, if we end up rejecting from where we are now, where would we be looking towards next? Well, in my opinion, if we're going to be looking for lower prices, ideally, to be honest with you, and again, this is not the scenario that I'm saying is the most probable, but if I want to get into a new long trade, remember, I already have longs open. I am not in the need of a new long because, again, I will show you, I have long, again, this is just a random account I own. My main accounts, I'm in much bigger long trades, and I'm in a position now where I'm happy to see higher prices. But if these longs fail, I understand it can fail, and we understand we can drop. Well, I would, in that scenario, really ideally prefer to see new lows come. Would like to see price drawn towards, around this zone of $110,000, $113,000. I would like to see new lows made. If we lose $117,000, ideally we see a bigger drop to the downside to around $113,000 to $110,000. Okay, that would be the next ideal scenario should we lose support. Of course, I shared with you this type of 3 drives pattern that we've been seeing. So we have drive 1, and this is our new low for drive 2, and this is still potentially in play for this new low to come before the next rally. And so, again, although I'm not ruling this out, I understand it's still in play. I would like to see another rise first, make my informed decision there, take a new short trade, and then bring it down rather than pulling back on another lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Of course, possible, but I just truly hope that you can understand that as traders, there are several different scenarios. I would love to come on stream and just say, right, this is the one thing you need to look for. But, although there will be YouTubers that say this is the one thing you need to look for, This is why let's just say this. This is why I'd call them YouTubers rather than traders. Okay, there's a big difference. I refer to myself as a trader that helps people on YouTube, but my sole focus is the trading, is actually teaching you. Okay, really is helping you. I'm not here to do anything else. All right, so yeah, I'd love to just say there's one scenario, but there's not. Let's be honest, there's not. We are taking this professionally and seriously. We do have to be aware of different scenarios. And of course, in that regards, it's not easy, but it is definitely a skill that you can learn, and it becomes way, way, way more easier. There's a few things that I want to mention here before I end. The first is, when I was looking at this is my brand new EXO template. This is my brand new Atos template. I have now left EXO forever. I need to get used to it. I have left EXO. I will not be returning. Not good software in my opinion. I'll not be using it anymore. I've expanded upon this over on Twitter, but I am now using Atos. So if you want my brand new Atos template, this will be available to the members. So, for the contenders and champion members, you will have access to my new Atos template, which is what I will be using now. I actually want to end on a little bit of a personal note for me. And this was sudden change of topic, yes, but I wanted to actually talk about this because, again, I feel the connection that I have to the community and the audience watching this. So I like to share a little bit of personal things as well. I think it's nice that I can have this personal connection with the people that I spend every day with, right? So although not physically together, we are every day talking, watching video, doing everything together. So yeah, we are the Champions family community, right? And so last year I wanted to share this, that my wife, who I love dearly, we lost our baby, unborn baby. It was pregnant. She was still pregnant, but unfortunately we lost the baby. And truly, it was extremely sad for both of us. It was really, really, really difficult time. But even through that, right, you would never know. I didn't talk about it to anybody, and maybe that's just me being a bit too hard. But never, I didn't. There was no, I didn't make it obvious. I wasn't here feeling sorry for myself, but I kind of put it to the back of my head the best I could and come in here. I was still doing my streams. I was still doing my videos. I was still doing my best, even though I had this pain behind me. And so it's like, and why is this? It's because of the purpose. I wear very proudly, the cross on my neck to just say, understand that, that this is part of life at the end of the day. There is hard times. You have to go through these hard times. Trust me, I've had so many hard times, and should try and make this into a connectable message for you. Again, there is 100 million different reasons of hard times that you can go through, but I can guarantee you this: we will all go through hard times. Maybe it is family death. Maybe it is you're losing a job. Maybe it is you're just struggling with trading right now. You're really feeling it so hard. Everybody goes through these struggles, but I can tell you this through personal experience of massive amount of problems that I've had in my life, that now I'm at a place where I appreciate so much those hard times, those problems, because it really formed my character. It formed me to the person today. And I just feel so, of course, I don't think grateful is the right word, but in an essence, I would say I'm so thankful in a way of those hard times, because of the strength that it's given me today. And so relating it to you, like if you are really, really, really struggling right now, if you are super down, super low, super sad, maybe just really finding it hard, just know this: if you give up, if you surrender yourself to this pain, you can go down bad paths, and it's easy. It's easy to choose the easy option out, the alcohol, the drugs, the parties, the distractions, X, Y, and Z thought of it. There's easy to go down the path of being overwhelmed and letting that sadness get ahead of you. Or you can, although hard, just focus on those little steps. Okay, I want to get through today. I want to get through this next meeting. I want to get through this. Just focus on those little steps. Okay, surround yourself. This is the most important thing, truly. Surround yourself with good friends. Surround yourself with a good community. Chart champions, although we're virtual, we're here every single day, right? We can be that family feel if that's something that you need. And so I just feel, focusing on those little steps, surrounding yourself with that strong community, having good people that you look up to. Okay, I want to replicate this. Okay, you just need to to take those little steps at a time. So that's what I was saying here. Like if you're facing, keep going one step at a time. Everything, sometimes things are extremely hard, but trust me, it will get better. And for me personally, I can say this. As I was throughout my hard times, every hard time that I've had, I've always been professional. I've always showed up to be here. And so that will continue. I will promise to always be here supporting you in this trading journey, and offer the charts when I can give you a little bit of advice, whether you like it or not. I can give you the best I can to support you today. So I will just end by saying this. I hope that you've truly enjoyed. I was really nice to see a lot of the comments about fellow Christians that we have here. So I think that's really beautiful to see. But I will of course say this: I respect everybody, believers, non-believers, whatever other religions, Muslims, etc. I have full love for everybody, and yeah, I just wanted to end with that message to say, truly, I am here for everybody, all shapes, forms, sizes. I love you all. I want to support you. I want to see you do well. When I do these videos, I focus on the technical analysis. I focus on the real side of trading. It is hard. There will be losses. But truly, just as you go through hard times in trading, it's those hard times that you get the best lessons. And yeah, it might be a few more years into the future, but it clicks, it works, and it's beautiful when it does. Trust me, there's nothing better than waking up and seeing trades playing out wonderfully. And that is not to say we're going to win every trade. Of course, there's losses. And even if I am to lose this long, it's fine, right? I can look down for lower. I can look down for newer trades. And it's just another opportunity to take a wonderful trade setup. So I hope you've enjoyed. I thank you all ever so much. And that is me signing out. Cheers, thank you, and goodbye. If you want those newest if you want those new Atlas templates, if you want the education, you know where you can get it, chartchampions.com. Thank you, and that's me signing out. Goodbye.